All right, so welcome to the Mind Exoticprenuer, and I am out. I'm actually getting pre-set up for, man, November is already gone, dang near already, and it's been gravy. Now, one of the things that I had to learn as an exoticpreneur, and I call these the 4 M's of mastery to your path of greatness. And what are the 4 M's? Your mouth, your money, your mindset, and your mood, right? In life, you know that we do a lot of things that can get us in trouble and get us out of trouble. And you know that a lot of things that money is the biggest thing, but more importantly than that is your mouth. Now, what is it about the mouth that gets us in trouble? It's like for me, I'm an Aquarius. So, as Aquarius, I speak truth to power and power to truth. And I'm straightforward. And it only came because of the authenticity that I believe that we should all have as being telling the truth, being 100 as I was believing the house raised, because I was raised in a Christian household where telling the truth and being honest about everything was ideal. It was considered righteousness. But when you get in the real world, you find out that there's a gray area that you got to stick with. There's a gray area that you gotta deal with. And what I found is that there is a balance with not telling a lie, but not being so honest that you turn people off. And how did I learn this shit? I learned this literally once I transitioned out of being a marketer and a marketing consultant for the exotic entertainment industry, for the entertainers and the performers, and when I get into management. And when I got into management, my first club, bar, shout out to for giving me that opportunity, because he brought me on as the structure, where that he was the financier, he was the money behind it, and I was the structure. I maintained the operations and brought the stability to it. And then his brother, he knew the flow of things because he knew how to do everything. He knew how to cook. He knew how to work the kitchen. He knew how to work the floor. He knew how to do all the maintenance. So he could build, he can construct and all that stuff because they came from the streets. So they knew how to rehab houses because they had to rehab houses for a whole nother reason. You feel what I'm saying? That skill set transferred into the business side when he decided to open up his club. And I was just the operation price, a good face. I was a marketer. And this is how moving to being a promoter and all this stuff ain't. So setting that shit up, I had to learn how to invite people and attract people over to me that wasn't familiar with me but knew my name, with the intent to spend money with me and spend with me outside of what they normally used to spending money with me, as in photography or making promos or flyers. So even though I had to leverage that skill for my business, his business for my benefit, I had to now develop a new ideology. I had to develop a new frame of mind, a new mindset on how to attract people to do business with me outside of what they're used to doing. It's like Drake transitioning from actor to rapper. You feel me? Or how T.I. transitioned from rapper to actor. Will Smith transitioned from lovable, likable, which he still is, to superstar movie actor, right? From sitcoms and fun and loving to being a lover boy to a serious drama leading man actor. Those type of transitions change from his original skill set of using his mouth to get in the doors to just shucking, maneuvering, to now develop changes his mindset to transition to the next level. Now that brings me to the next point, which is your mood. The mood is your emotions. That is, how do you manage your emotions stably so that you're not getting thrown off of shit. Now, what brought me into that space was that, and there's times where that you might not get along with people because they're just their mindset might be having, there might be sometime, but their emotional stability, it'd be the kicker. It'd be the one that throws them out the thing. You ever, how I learned this more, how I experienced it the most was with the dancers. With the dancers, the experienced dancers versus the not so experienced dancers. Most experienced dancers, if you ever notice that, and this is a key thing that you discover when you're dealing with high income people or successful people, they're not as quick to react when things don't go right than the younger ones, the ones that are inexperienced, that don't know what to expect, that are not familiar with how things go, so to speak. And if you don't know how things go, I highly recommend that you'll get the Mind of the Exotic. Go to Amazon.com and get the Mind of the Exoticpreneur. Enter the Exoticpreneur Volume 1, Part 1. Explain the whole process from how to get from the bottom to the top and everything that happens in between for you to have the whole picture of what your potentiality, actual opportunities are available from the mind of an exoticpreneur, from someone who did it from nothing, got it from nothing, just had a little bit of creativity, a little bit of ingenuity, and a lot of hustle, and made it to the top upper echelon where the movers and shakers really were and how to attract them consistently. And it's not just with your coochie or with your weed, it's with these 4 M's that I apply and I had to use and utilize. That emotional stability, that cosmic alignment, that sexual mastery become the very essence of how you get that in control and learning the nuances that make it work. I clearly articulated and done in a very fun and entertaining way. If you don't believe me, hey, go and check the proof in the pudding of people who have gotten the book and have already enjoyed it, that are enjoying it, and it's coming available on Audibles very soon. And if you're catching this vibe, I'm going to be having a special offer if you stay to the end. All right, but moving forward. So getting your mood together, which is the 3rd M, having your mood, checking your emotions when things are not going the way you want it to go, or even if things are going, but other people are now trying to distract you from your mood and throw you off. Checking that, taking accountability, taking control of that. Christian world, when it comes to that, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. You know what I'm saying? You put that emphasis on it because you're taking the identity like it has no power. How about taking that power just period, without putting so much of emphasis on that entity? Because if you are a Christian, you believe that God is the savior of all your sins, which, if that's your thing, taking that mindset and the energy and transferring it to everything. If negative is negative, positive is positive. People are going to come in your life to try to fuck with your mood every fucking day if you let them. However, some things you can control and other things you can't. You can control what another person feel about you, but what you can't control is how you internalize it and let it affect you. Because when they say they shit and they throw their shots at you, because everybody done call me everything but a child of God, and I still walk around, but I don't give a fuck. Not that it doesn't affect me, because it does affect me just like it affects anybody that has any type of heart, humanity, or common consciousness to decency. However, if you know that you did what you did with pure intention and genuine effect, and they just don't want to receive it because of their insecurities or their things, and this is a case in point. It was a young lady that I used to kick it with, and I loved everything about her, from how she moved to how she think, until I got more personable with her and started dealing with her on a day-to-day basis, on a regular basis, and started learning the nuances of her life and her lifestyle. And inside of that, I realized that there was more conflict and chaos than it was calming and consistency. Now, and that, because I was a person, I come from chaos, and I made a living out of controlling the chaos to create cosmic consciousness that created that alignment, that created cash flow for me. So because of that, I can identify what that energy is and how to take control of it. But because I was so close to the fire, because I cared about them a lot, an erroneous lot, that I started attracting their chaos onto me, and that was becoming a conflict. And I was trying to figure out what the fuck is going on, because I know better, but I'm not doing better. And it became a distraction to my world. And I'm a person of peace. And when you're a person of peace, in regards to a peaceful environment and peaceful serenity within yourself, you have to protect that peace over everything, even if that means saying peace. You feel me? So when I realized that it wasn't me or her, it was just the environment that was cultivating that chaos, I had to respectfully call it quits and just let it be what it be. Where that once that gets under control, we can control and concise if that's possible. If it's within the laws of the universe to reattract or realign with each other. But if not, it is what it is. But it wasn't without. It wasn't with no contentious energy. And when you know that you do things where that there was no contention, there was no animosity, there was no anger, there was no angle. You were just there to support, help, add value, and that's it. Then you can release that with, as Kevin Gates, with love. Release it with love because you know that you led with genuine energy and it just wasn't received with the same energy, and you can't take that personal. And if you don't believe that saying, read the book. Read, it's in chapter 2 in the principles, and there's some will, some won't, and sometimes you just, so what? You know, there are people that want you. And they want you just like you want them, but your energy, your mood is going to be the determinating on it. Because you got your mouth, if you got your mouth under control and you're not saying things that creates contentious energy and they just want to receive it that way, then it's not you, it's them. Whether they want to acknowledge it or not, it's them. Because whatever insecurities that are going on within them that's emotionally creating that instability, because they're triggers. Those psychological triggers are real. Whether you're in the streets or you're in the fucking in the suburbs, them emotional triggers is there, baby. So you control you because you are the example. You are defining their path to greatness. You are defined by purpose and wearing it with pride. They are not yet. But you can present yourself as a beacon. And the last thing is your money. Now, your money, for us men, you already know that's the dividends. The dividends that get you in or out. Now, protecting your money and managing your money is your responsibility. I come from a family, we wasn't poor, but we wasn't rich. We were broke, but we were broke by the standard of extraordinary. But we wasn't broke, we wasn't poor as in we wasn't destitute. So because of that sense of stability in the money management, we didn't live beyond our means. Now, a lot of us do when you're young, and I did. My money management was extraordinarily ridiculous. And because my intention wasn't on clothes, cars, stuff, because that didn't matter to me. It was tech. Even what I'm getting on that. Like shit, these boys right here, they ain't cheap. You know, then that was half of somebody's paycheck I spent on just mics. You feel me? Or somebody's whole paycheck on mics. You know what I'm saying? Cameras, all kind of shit. That was my vice. Some might be paraphernalia, some might be drugs, some might be shoes. Everybody has a vice. Some might be music. Some might be, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? It doesn't matter what your vice is, just know that it exists. And the mastery of that is acknowledging and being aware that this is your thing and you can control it. Some of us have a big vice of eating and overeating. Took accountability of how much you spend on your vices, on your food, on your Mary Jane, or whatever the hell that you use that is not conducive to your health and wellness, but it does satisfy your desires. It can be so many different things. Comfort food to personal relationships in regards to connect, sex, things of that sort. It can be virtually anything. The thing is that if you don't become aware of it and then acknowledge it, this is your budget for it, then you're gonna find yourself spiraling out, and getting that under control is very important. And a lot of times we don't even become aware of how much money or how much money we indulge in just our desires and not ignoring our necessities. How many people do you know will spend $1,000 on some luxury shoes but still struggling to pay rent? How many people you know that'll sit up there and buy a video game that's $60 instead of paying their cell phone bill to stay in communication? How many people you know will spend $100, spend their last to get a 3.5 instead of putting food on their table for the week? I don't know. I know some people like that. Maybe you do too. All I'm saying is that when you know that that may be you, or that may be people, who knows? all I can say is once you become aware of that, and that might be a trigger that you want to take accountability for, and then adjust it, manage it. Instead of getting a 3-5 every day, scale it down. My boy, one of my good friends, what he does is he makes slims. So he would stretch his he would stretch that not for for a week. He would make it so slim at that, just enough to get the hit, but not enough to make him broke. So his expense went from $300 a week to $100 a week. Because all it takes is 1%. 1% of dedicated effort every day. You will be amazed at that level of discipline once you first acknowledge it, then create a plan of action, and then execute it. But it all starts with your mouth, what you say, getting the mindset prepared for it, getting your emotional stability together, and then putting the money behind it or removing it from it so that you can have mastery of self, which in turn translates to your path to greatness. And I hope that helps you some way. And as the end of the day, if you did make it to the end of this bad boy, if you put in Don P30, what I will do once you get, if you go to downloadprocess.com and you get the book, also will get the physical copy autographed. You will also get a bookmark, a light, that so you can actually read the book in your night, so you ain't got to worry about disturbing nobody else's peace. And last but not least, you will get the audio version of the book for free, absolutely free. So you're gonna get free shipping. Let me add that on too. You're gonna get, so when you go to donaldprice.com, DONALDPERATTIS, and you order your version, you will get your copy of Enter the Exoticpreneur Part 1. You will not only, you'll get the book, you'll also get a digital copy of that book. You'll also get it with free shipping. You'll also get the book, a bookmark, and you'll get the audio version when it's available for absolutely free. That's my offer to you as a thank you for taking the time out to one, make it to the end of this video, and two, supporting and investing into yourself and getting on your path of greatness using the principles of the mind of entrepreneur. With that being said, I pray that you all stay healthy. Let's be wealthy. Don P out. Peace.